Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are currently, well, very positive in our finances. We should probably consider expanding our construction, shouldn't we? By some amount. We could cut our taxes. That might increase our standard of living. If we cut our taxes here, yeah, I feel like that's a good idea, actually. Let's cut our taxes and increase our standard of living that way. I wouldn't mind cutting it further, but of course we can't for the moment. So for now, we'll leave that be rather than expanding our construction. I feel like we're constructing fast enough for the moment. Cutting our taxes does not really help us in terms of like our legitimacy right now. We were already close to maxed, right? So that's fine. I'm not too concerned about that. What do we got going on out here? Oh yeah, the gold fields were depleted. It's sad, but it is what it is. Okay. We actually do have more gold mines that we should build. Absolutely. These are top priority. We will get those done. Fantastic. Regulatory bodies is now up to a 26% chance of passage. It'll pass eventually. But we're fully out of debt, and I would like to think about potentially even cutting taxes further. But yeah, you can see their standard of living going up dramatically. So that would be good. We could consider cutting taxes down to very low taxes and balancing our economy around that. I think that that's not a terrible idea. Definitely not a terrible idea there. Max Colonial Affairs investment, I don't really care too much about that. We don't appear to be colonizing Comanche here. We don't need to be, but it's definitely interesting. I wouldn't mind colonizing them. But yeah, that doesn't seem to be a thing that we can do. Okay. Human rights have been unlocked, giving us the ability to do compulsory primary school, which would be a good thing for our literacy for sure. Beyond there, what do we want? Let's see, we already got human rights here. So we could go down to feminism for women's suffrage. But we're on universal suffrage right now. So this is Indeed. I mean, we do want it eventually, but I feel like international exchange standards is actually the way to go here. So we'll get... Now, we'll take a while, actually. Quite a while. But that's okay. Our literacy is coming up, and can we put in any additional institutions? Not yet. Regulatory bodies stalled, so it's down to 11% chance. Oof. We keep having poor rolls on that, but we knew that it would be challenging to enact. We knew that. So we're continuing to develop our economy here. We're going to break 100 million soon. Looking in at the overall GDP here. Fascinating. Highest in the world is about double ours. Okay, sounds good to me. Steel railway cars have been unlocked. I don't think any of this is super necessary at this moment. We'll get there. We have about 6 months until our election, which is potential. But we did break 100 million in GDP, so that is really good. And our standard of living is coming up nicely. We can definitely consider dropping our taxes again. So we'll go ahead and do that for now. Tools are currently expensive, and market access in Pennsylvania is low. Okay. We'll expand our railway in Pennsylvania. That'll be absolutely fine. No problem whatsoever. Checking in on our investment pool. Yeah, that looks okay. A rousing speech has captivated the public here. Floating harbors, sure, whatever. Enactment success chance? Interest group pop attraction here. Oh, wow. People's Party with 94.6% of the vote. We're going to take the 15% enactment chance. Thanks. 96% of the vote is absurd. So, the Whig Party is kind of dead, right? If this goes through. I feel like the Whig Party is dead after that. It's also looking a lot less likely that we're going to have the Civil War occurring. Do we have a shortage right now? No, we don't. We're just a little bit low on our construction, I think, aren't we? Maybe not. Okay, well, Lonian people are migrating to Louisiana. That's nice. I like that. How many are actually coming in? Actually, quite a number. Cool. So that looks good. We're very pleased to have any population. We are up over 1% population growth. That's great. Regulatory bodies we're really hoping passes soon. I wouldn't mind cutting taxes again once our economy can support it. For the moment, it cannot. And eventually, we're going to want to drop our consumption taxes as well. Noted. Regulatory bodies has increased its enactment success chance to 47.4%. Okay, I don't really care about momentum for the People's Party. This is our current president, so we're going to let... Beautiful. They're at 103% momentum. This is insane. They're doing incredibly well here, of course. And our constructions are proceeding apace. I like it. That market access in Pennsylvania is still a little bit low. And I want to check in real quick. 193 plus 316. Okay. We can probably construct additional barracks, correct? Correct. So we're going to keep these maxed out for the moment. Cool. Now, we're currently on, in our laws, we're currently on a conscription military, right? National militia. Okay. That's reasonably fine. Yeah, I think this is okay. This is okay. We'll leave it on national militia for the moment. Regulatory bodies has almost a 50% chance of passing here, which is kind of a big deal. Can we get that done before the election? Yes, we can try. We did not succeed, but there is grassroots support for the law. So plus 20% enactment success chance. I like it. The election goes through. Boom. People's Party with 93% of the vote. That is absurd. But the Whig Party is also, with the intelligentsia, is also in government here. So rural folk, trade unions, and intelligentsia are who's in government. Noted. We don't need to change anything around. Gold has been depleted in South Dakota. It's to be expected. Cool. We can actually build 2 more gold mines in South Dakota, which we will definitely do. But we do want to look to continue to drop our taxes. Do we drop down to very low taxes at this point, or do we get rid of our consumption taxes? I think we get rid of this. Yeah, I think that's what we go for first, but we're not going to be ready to do that just yet. So that's looking okay. I do want to go through our buildings here real quick and make sure that these are all set to auto-expand. I would also like to go down to arcades when we can, but we can't do that just yet. Do we go to the philosophy department? Yes, we do. Cool. So we'll go ahead and do that. That may increase the price of paper. We should go down to vineyards and harvesting tools, for sure. Any other changes that we need to make here? Fishing wharves could go to steam trawlers. Done, but that might create... Okay, regulatory bodies passed. That might create a shortage of steamers. We'll need to check in on our shipyards. Yeah, we're not making steamships, so we're going to need to switch to steamships as well if we're going to do that. Ports are currently on cargo ports. Honestly, I think industrial ports will be fine. And infrastructure reduction here is not necessarily good. Transportation is going to be at nothing with steel passenger carriers, so I don't think we do that at this moment. That looks fine. Man-O-Wars is currently expensive. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. But regulatory bodies passed. So that, of course, means we need to start working down the workplace safety office. Fantastic. So we're going to head down there. Now in our laws, I would like to go to compulsory primary school. This is very popular. We have a 67% chance right off the bat. So we should be able to get that done very easily. The petite bourgeoisie are unhappy. That's not shocking. What is this diplomatic play? Revolutionary Cuba versus Cuba. I don't think we really care about that too much. That's not super relevant. We have a shortage of sugar and man-o'-wars. We knew that man-o'-wars would be short. So how many man-o'-wars are we actually producing right now? We're on steamships, right? So we need to check in on our shipyards. These are producing only steamers. They're not producing clippers at all. We needed to go into our port. I think, no, naval bases. And we go down to the ironclad? What makes ironclads? Hang on. I thought it was shipyards. Yeah, produced in shipyards. So in our shipyard, right. We can go down to military shipbuilding here. So now we'll be making ironclads and steamers. And this is going to, extensive military shipbuilding is going to reduce this by 200. We're currently producing 60 per level. I think we go to military shipbuilding here. So this is producing 20 ironclads per level and 40 steamers. That feels like that's about the right number there. That does, of course, mean that we need to go down to ironclads, which is fully expected. Yeah, that's better. So now we have a sugar input goods shortage. This is sold by sugar plantations. Can we get more of those? Can we make sugar plantations right now? Agriculture. Yes, we can. Okay. These should auto-expand. That said, with the input goods shortage, we should probably look at what our current shortage is. We're short pretty close to like 1,000. So we should definitely build a few of these as a priority. I'm going to take Georgia to 5, Alabama to 5, and Louisiana to 5. Like that. Cool. So people want to preserve child labor. I mean, it's not very popular. Not very popular at all. Compulsory primary school is very likely to go through. Excellent. Those sugar plantations will be done in 6 weeks. That looks good. And we're going to get through those barracks quite quickly as well. This will put a small delay in our GDP growth. I'm reasonably okay with that. Pop growth is up to 1.14%. That is a big, big boost over what it was previously. So that's looking very good. We are going to want to go to war with Mexico again eventually. Do we still think that France will join if we do this? And really, we would want this to be Utah, would be the conqueror state. We no longer believe that France would join this. Great Britain, Russia, Dynam, or the Hudson Bay Company. Great Britain and Russia are potential threats. I don't think they're insurmountable threats. Russia might be. Russia might be an insurmountable threat right now, but they're a long ways away. So that's noted. We're also still working on bringing our finances up, right? So we could definitely consider dropping down to very low taxes. The invisible cry. Yes. Many families have chosen to hide their offspring in the hopes of them not being sent to work. Children? What children? So this is just a negative approval from industrialists. But it's the same enactment success chance. Okay. But this does give us minus interest group pop attraction. So I guess we'll take that. Sure. Okay, so we're plus 60k right now. We can definitely consider dropping down to very low taxes, and we can also get rid of our liquor consumption tax. We can also get rid of our luxury furniture consumption tax. That does put us slightly negative. Let's get rid of all of this consumption tax, And we'll just put that there for the moment. Now we want to balance our economy around being at this taxation level, but having our military maxed out. That's what we want to do right now. We have no investment pool at the moment. We're already through constructing all of those barracks. So tools and glass are currently expensive, and we're still running that sugar input goods shortage. So we should definitely consider still building additional sugar plantations. I'm going to construct 5 in each of these locations. There we go. And there's compulsory primary school. So that allows us to bring up our education investment up to level 4. We are projecting a bureaucratic shortfall with that. So we should probably consider building a government administration in New York. We'll get that queued up. Beautiful. The party will never end. Pennsylvania has luxurious parties. Okay, so what do we want to do law-wise at this point? So that's bringing up our literacy and bringing up our birth rate, right? That's the primary goal there. Now we're on universal suffrage, but I don't think that counts for women at this point. Like I've said previously, I don't feel like there's any point on going to women in the workplace when you can just skip over it and go to women's suffrage. I feel like that's just much better to skip women in the workplace and just jump straight down. We can't do that at this moment, so that's not the current goal there. We have no migration controls. I think that's okay. We're on public schools. We could actually go to public health insurance. Do it. It's not super popular, but we'll get to work on that. The primary goal behind that is to keep our pop growth coming up, right? We're up to 1.3. This is looking good. Our target pop growth is 1.5 to be what I consider like super, super healthy, right? So that's our target pop growth there. So we bring up our public health insurance for the minus 5% mortality and the max health system institution investment. The one thing we don't want to do right now, actually wage subsidies are not necessarily a bad thing, but the one thing we don't want to be doing is raising our minimum wage based on the way that the economy in this game works. So minimum wage stays low, but benefits like public health insurance go very high. Health insurance, education, things like that. There's discord within the intelligentsia. We'll take the 15% enactment chance. This is actually enacting very quickly. These checkpoints are very fast. Cool. So we're running a deficit right now, right? That's definitely a thing that's happening. That'll turn around, but it'll take a little bit of time. So we'll let that come up as we continue to build here. Are we still running that sugar input goods shortage? We are. How's that looking now? Well, it's massively improved. It's massively improved. We're going to finish up a bunch of sugar plantations here soon. So I don't think I'm going to manually expand the sugar any more than that. There were some injured farmers. We'll try to offer health. Help, I should say. We're also offering health. Fantastic. We're still currently projecting a budget, or rather a bureaucracy shortfall. Is our government administration fully staffed here? It is. Okay, so let's get another government administration queued up. That is going to be necessary. We are definitely expanding our institutions, and we're planning to expand more of. So that is important. This revolution is interesting. A revolution to restore child labor from New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, New Jersey, Massachusetts, Vermont, West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana, Virginia, Maryland, Illinois, and Delaware. They're not actually going to fire, but that's interesting for sure. So there's our public health insurance that passed already. That was very, very quick. Identification documents have finished up as well. Cool. So we can definitely see we're negative in our bureaucracy. We knew that that was likely to happen. We're going to continue to work on that. But we need to work our health system up. We can't go any higher right now due to bureaucracy shortfalls. Not shocking. What else do we want to go to here? Dedicated police forces, I think fine. We can't go down legal guardianship here. Slavery is banned currently. We could do Social Security. Are we paying anything to welfare right now? We are not currently. Okay. We're on interventionism. I wouldn't mind moving to laissez-faire, but we cannot do that right now. Because that capitalist investment pool contribution is a big deal, right? But right now, that seems reasonably fine. We're on elected bureaucrats, which I think is okay. We're on total separation. We are on racial segregation. We could move down here. What would the actual benefit of this be? Pops will recalculate their interest group support. So plus 100 authority. Accepted cultures, huh? I see. So how many of our cultures are actually accepted? That is something that we would need to find out. So let's see here. That's turmoil. Uh-huh. So I'm guessing both Yankee and Dixie are accepted cultures. And that is currently like 94% of our population. So I don't think we need to worry too much about being racially segregated right now. That may become a problem later. Afro-Americans are discriminated against, but everything else here that is of any meaningful numbers is fine. So I don't think we need to worry too much about that. What else might we want to do in terms of law changes? We're on per capita taxation right now. I wanted to come back in here. We could go down to proportional. And actually that would boost our revenue quite a lot. Is that the best one for the moment? For the moment, yes. Proportional taxation would be the best to do. So we'll work on getting that. Looks good. We are currently positive financially, although we just dipped back negative. This government administration is 10 weeks away from finishing up. Okay. Noted. Looks good. Language in the classroom, huh? 20% assimilation is pretty good, actually. We just looked and discovered there's very little population that's discriminated against right now. So I think we'll take the assimilation. Okay. So that seems reasonably okay. Proportional taxation is probably going to take at least a few ticks before that's ready to go. We're very slightly negative financially. That would not be the case if we didn't have this negative bureaucracy tax waste. So getting this government administration done is going to be a big deal. Can we improve the efficiency of our government administration? Oh, wow, this actually just straight up passed. Okay, that's interesting. So for the moment, it looks like we cannot improve the efficiency of our government administration. So each one of these is producing how much? 65 per level? So we're definitely going to want at least one more. I'm going to queue up 5, but they're going to be at the bottom of the priority list for right now. So we're making a good amount of cash at this moment. And that'll be fine. The slavery debate is going to be ending in a few years here. That's looking good. So our economy is solid. Great Britain wants a trade agreement. We accept that. Beautiful. Okay, so our bureaucracy definitely needs to continue to come up, right? But I want to get these constructions done. Glassworks in Ohio, looking good. Tooling workshops, all of this raw resources. That does look all like things that we want. This revolution is irrelevant. They're not actually going to happen. So with the proportional taxation done, what other law changes might we want? We're on no home affairs right now. We could go down to guaranteed liberties. To be honest, I think we should. That's very much in line with what we've campaigned on, right? So we kind of have a mandate to get this sort of thing passed. It's going to take a little bit. This one's going to be more challenging than the last couple of laws that we've passed. That's fine. But look at our GDP. It's grown by 25% this episode. That's insane. That is absolutely bonkers. Our population growth is up to that 1.5% marker. I love it. And our healthcare institution is not even super high. Our workplace safety office institution isn't even super high. So that's great. That's all really, really good. We're about to start work on our government administrations. In fact, we are working on our government administrations right now. A popular playwright has endorsed the reform. Cool. So that's up to 19.4%. And we're struggling with our bureaucracy right now because we're expanding our institutions a lot, right? Gold has been depleted in Nevada. That's sad. But to be expected. So we need to start working on getting our buildings here moved down to skirmish infantry, down to mobile artillery, and getting all of these set up correctly, right? That's something that we really need to work on so that our economy is balanced around having this. So this is obviously very expensive, right? Things are going to be super expensive for the moment, and that means that we can start work on getting that balanced. But that is a job for next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kintogan, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Spartan News, Unisol, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.